the people that watch our show, for the most part, are hunting for their food. They're consuming wild game on a normal basis. So I've got two questions for you. The first one is, what is the difference between them frying it and them grilling it? Because one of our favorite things to do is like a fish fry is so fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's great. But what are your recommendations as far as frying versus grilling versus smoking, just for people, because those are the three main ways that we're preparing our meat.
So I went to school in Wisconsin, so fish fry, and I grew up. We did all the fishing. It's delicious. Obviously, it's not the healthiest, but what you can do, so if we just go through kind of quickly, number one, you never want to char your meat. So I think with smoking, it just depends, what temperature you're cooking things to, and then, what is the sauce that you're using. The fat content matters too, right? When something's a really lean cut, it's going to cook faster. And then obviously you could char it very quickly without even knowing it. So I think that really depends. I would never recommend charring anything just because the research does support the, carcinogens, and that is something that can cause inflammation in the body, which could be reduced by adding in colorful fruits and vegetables. Just a side note there. You never want to, actually, I shouldn't say that. You want to limit and avoid frying things in certain oils. I would say if you're using coconut oil, or if you were to use olive oil or avocado oil, there's different smoke points too with the different oils. So I think that's something to
Jeff loves
remind.
Jeff brings it up all the time.
Anytime,
we were convinced it was fake.
Dietetics, right?
Anytime we're in the same,
Yeah.
Anytime we're in the same room as oil, he has to bring up the smoke
That's why
point of it.
people fry with a peanut oil, because it has a really high smoke point, so they can get a higher.
He's so glad you brought this up. Real quick, just so the audience knows, when she says charring, what she's referring to, because I did a bad job of playing into this, is that when you kind of burn the outside of meat and it turns black.
Blackened.
Yeah.
Char grilled. The black lines on your burger.
Yeah, the things that you love.
I'm in trouble because I cooked all my marshmallows as a kid.
Yeah.
By just lighting them on fire. Black.
You just don't have patience. I think we're talking to a nutritionist and you brought up marshmallows, but yeah, I get what you're saying. She's like, yeah, those are great for you.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah, she said.
Yes. All foods fit.
Everything.
So going back, charring and what is the ideal way if you are going to fry something and you're going to break the rules for a day? What is the right way to do it?
Right. So just to clarify too, the pan frying, like if you're frying something in a pan and you're just using the oil, that's different than deep frying something with panko crumbs and breadcrumbs. Like you having that fried breading, that introduces a completely different nutrient profile. So when you're pan frying things with olive oil or avocado oil or different types of oils, that is different than, getting the deep fryers. My dad, walleye perch.
Yeah.
I miss all those days. We deep fried those things. I mean, we were very active on the farm, but I would not recommend doing that every time. But you can do that. But I would recommend pan frying or sauteing or grilling, and then using obviously a more stable oil, which avocado oil or olive oil would be a good one. And you have the wealth of knowledge in there on the smoke points as well, because he did dietetics. I remember Kyle telling me about, we have someone on our team that was going to go to be a dietitian, but you did the right thing. It's not the best ROI.
Yeah, I went to school 12 years ago and then went into the automotive industry and then went into TV production. So there's a lot of practice.
But he did do it.
I never even got the 2 letters after my name, let alone
I think it worked out for you.
Well, maybe
it's okay.
now that I've lost a little bit of weight since the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I think she meant the fact that you get to work with your best friend every day, and maybe you should be a little bit more appreciative.
That's a good side thing.
Yes.
So when you're breading it and deep frying it, there's a catastrophic difference that's happening then, as far as
catastrophic.
Yeah, kind of, right?
It's such an alarming. I love that. Yes, there is. Just because, say you were to do. Oh my goodness, my brother used Pringles when we were kids, but it's so funny because I'm a dietitian saying that. But what I would recommend is if you can use a pork breadcrumb, actually those panko
Frosted
crumbs.
Flakes or something nice. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Something healthy.
Put it back in the industry. Cabela's, my dad picks up all those things still and he tells me about it, but you can get those things. But yeah, if you use a more stable oil, it's going to help offset some of those dangerous effects, if you will.
Okay, so searing or grilling is a better way to go as far as health goes. If you were pan searing twice a week, deep frying once a month, and grilling otherwise, are you on an okay path?
Absolutely. I could say you could easily deep fry twice a month and then eat more fruits and vegetables, right, to decrease the inflammation, because that's what happens in the body, right, from the fried foods. But if you add in more water too, make sure everybody's drinking enough water. That helps us clear things out as well if our liver and kidneys are functioning optimally. But you can easily deep fry things a couple of times a month and be very healthy. I mean, I'm not here to tell anybody to completely change their lifestyle. And Kyle, I think a lot of the people that follow you, the ones that are not there to hate on you, they're eating whole foods. You know, they're not eating a lot of processed food. So they could probably fry once a week and be completely fine because the rest of their nutrition is pretty on point.
Awesome.
But butter.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got two questions again, and I know you got to go.
No, you're good.
One is, what is the deal with butter? Because actually, I bought that organic pressed extra virgin coconut oil or whatever it is, but I normally, like, I'll cook eggs and just about anything else in butter typically. Like, that's my go-to as opposed to using any kind of oils because I just knew vegetable oils are bad. And my thinking, and could be stupid, was like, at least my body knows what this butter is. You know what I mean? Like, that was in my head is like why I did that. What are your thoughts on butter?
First off, butter is not bad. And I'll say that again for the crazy people. Butter is not bad. And I just think that it's crazy. When I'm on Twitter, I'm using Twitter a lot for social media, and people are posting about how butter is bad, but then there's also the crazy people that are putting butter in their coffee, and it's just like, okay, you're eating all this fat, and then you're not eating enough protein. You're losing muscle, right? Because in order to build muscle, maintain bone density, we have to have a certain amount of protein. So, Kyle, I think the context is key because butter is not bad, but I think it's bad when people don't eat enough protein and they're eating too much fat. And that's the whole premise behind, I think, why people failed with the keto and the Atkins and some of those other things is they're not eating enough protein. So if you balance it out and you have your, butter, whether it's on your steak, your potato, but then also make sure you're eating enough protein and then obviously moving your body. Don't sit on the couch all day and watch the news. Definitely not CNN, but jokes.
Nice. She's gonna fit right in.
You can coat your pan with butter, but don't start any recipe with. Now you're going to start with a stick of butter.
Someone's fun police.